5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Round 2, Bengals Steelers coming up on Jungle Fever.
Nacho.
It's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Put the one in the clutch. We don't give a what. Punch it in through the gut. Nixon on the rush. It's that bingo talk. Facts in the jungle with racks. It's that jungle fever. Make them all believe us. Now they think we crazy. Cause it's who they baby.
Welcome everybody to the Jungle Fever podcast. That's your host Rax the Facts. I'm Vince over here. New week, new game, and we're back, baby. Bengals are back, and as you can see, I'm feeling very ecstatic about the way these Bengals have answered to these back-to-back losses coming to the bye week. We've responded beautifully, blew out the Raiders 32-13, and Rax, I'll let you take it off. Let's see what do you got to say, man?
About the Raiders game?
Yep.
Oh man, I love the Raiders game, man. It was in the trenches, grind it out. You know, you're not about to get these big explosive plays, so you got to get down in the trenches and you got to grind it out. And I like that game. It showed that we can win multiple times. Especially shows we can win without Joe Burrow with his arm. You know, as long as he's there to command them, we can win without him throwing 50 times. And I love the game, man. I mean, Joe Mixon showed out. Hakeem Adeniji, he looked good to me, man. He looked good. Honestly, I don't see the difference between him and Carmen. I mean, I went back and looked. At first, I was like, okay, hold on, because I was watching the game in fast pace, like it was playing. And then I went back and I looked. I'm like, hold on, well, all right, yeah, I see a slip up here and there, but you did the same thing with Jackson Carmen. And I'm like, Adeniji ain't too bad. I mean, Reef, on the other hand, he got abused. And I didn't even notice it until I went back. You got to go back and look. Reef got abused. Like, dude, he got abused. And I guess because I even thought Adeniji was bad. I'm like, maybe that's because it was coming from that side. So I thought it was Adeniji because I'm so used to Reef just holding his own. And when I really went back and watched some film, man, Adeniji did a good job, bro. And what made me go back and look was I watched the press conference with Zach Taylor. And Zach was like, Adeniji did a great job for us. And I'm like, what? Let me go back and look. And I looked and I'm like, he actually did do a good job. He actually did do a good job. But besides that, I loved our game plan. Pound it. Keep pounding it. Pound it. Just keep pounding it. I love it. Go ahead. What's your thoughts?
I'm going to have to take you up on that film study session. We might have to get back in here Wednesday or something after the game.
Cool.
Maybe do a little film session on Hakeem Adeniji or something. I don't know, because for me, I didn't like the way Adeniji was playing at all. I saw him give up. Every time I saw him, I was seeing him give up licks and everything. It just seemed like he wasn't holding his own as well. So I might have to go back and watch that tape because, to be honest with you, I was screaming for Jackson Carmen at the end of this game. I really was. I mean, look, he did enough, I mean, but it just seems like there's more of a consistency, you know what I mean? Like, the line just seems like there's more fluidity when Jackson Carmen is in. And when you can look at the stats on this too, Jackson Carmen is proven to be a much better run blocker than Adeniji. Adenji's for the pass blocking. I can say that, but Carmen as a run blocker and just a big physical wall, I think he's way better than Adeniji in that term of thing. Now you can say Adenji's footwork and all that is way better, and Adeniji, he's smoother. But at the end of the day, I'm looking for what gets the job done at the best, And to me, that's what I got from Jackson Carmen. So I'm going to have to take you up on that film study. I'm going to have to go look at Hakeem Adenji's tape in that Raiders game.
Check it out.
But yeah, I definitely think that but overall, who cares? Because we still blew the Raiders out the water in the fourth quarter. We destroyed them in the fourth quarter, demolished them. And like I said our last show, I predicted Joe Mixon would have a huge game. I said $150 and 1 or 2 touchdowns. He didn't quite $150, but he got the 2 touchdowns. So That was basically spot on for me. I was very pleased with how Joe Mixon handled this game. He walked his way right back into the top 5 of rushing leaders in the NFL, man. Just dominating. But I will say, I definitely think this line still has room for improvement. Like I said, I think Jackson Carman just adds more stability than Adeniji right now. And I think he just makes Burrow feel more comfortable in the pocket because Burrow's played with him for how many games now? What, 5, 6 or so? I think he's way more comfortable with Carman and then Adeniji. You know, I think XSF he isn't as comfortable with. Adeniji, it just seemed like he just these last couple of games with Adeniji, he just seems off. With Carman though, it just seems like he's in his zone, man. I don't know what it is. Like whenever Carman's in, those are Burrow's best games. That stretch of the games with when Carman was in, best games by Burrow. The Minnesota game was pretty good, but the Bears game was his worst. And then the Browns game. The Browns game, he just didn't look. That was definitely not him. You know, I mean, and same with the Raiders game. I wasn't impressed with Joe's performance against the Raiders. I wasn't. I flat out wasn't. He didn't play good, but that was because he was under constant duress from Max Crosby and Ngakoue. They were causing a storm, a havoc on Joe Burrow.
You would have seen the moves Crosby was putting on Reef. The moves Crosby was putting on Reef was ridiculous, dude. That was wow.
Yeah, he was getting abused. But I mean, like I said though, you know, I mean, that's also on Adeniji to help Reef out, you know. I mean, and that's on the coaching staff too, a little bit. Frank Pollock and Zach, maybe you can say, because when you see Max Crosby demolishing Riley Reef one-on-one like that, that's when you got to turn to your guard right there and say, hey, can you help me out a little bit here? You know, can you pancake this dude real quick?
Yeah,
I mean, that's what you got to do.
Something, you know, it has to be done because it's going to definitely have to be done this coming week. I mean, in a couple of days against the Steelers.
TJ Watt,
yeah, he's expected to play. I mean, he's 10 times better than Crosby, and you got him going against Reef. So please don't wait to halftime to adjust the double TJ. Please double TJ right away. Like I know this coaching staff can't be that naive, but at the same time, I believe the O-line, besides Crosby and Ngakoue, however you pronounce his name, besides those two, but if our O-line's like this, if you ain't got no superior like stars on your defensive line, you're not beating us. You're not beating us, except for the Jets, I guess. But they defensive line looked pretty good, bro. I mean, God. You go back and look at that game, man. They were eating our offensive line up at the Jets, like. But
to go back to that Jets game too, I gotta say, Carman was probably the best person on that line that day. Besides that wasn't named Quentin Spain. Jackson Carman actually, I think, is overlooked for that game. I think people looked at his grade for that game mainly, and then put the blame on him. I'm gonna be honest. PFF grades for linemen, in my opinion, are extremely misleading. I think Carman had a pretty decent game at best. At best, I'll say that. He had a decent game at best against the Jets. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't bad. It was just decent average, in my opinion. So far, watching Jackson Carman, the only bad game I think I've seen him do in is Green Bay. That's the only bad game I saw from him. That was a pretty bad game. But so, I mean, and a lot of people disagree with that. You know, people like I've seen people say that Jackson Carman has been horrible this season. I don't understand. I don't understand how you say that. But moving on from that, because we can talk about that another time. Maybe if we do a film study Wednesday. But what I gotta say is that the offensive line lately has been the reason Joe Burrow has not looked himself. He's been uncomfortable. He only threw for 148 yards this game and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I will say he didn't have any turnovers. That's good. That's really good. But you gotta understand, he almost got his knee fucking obliterated again. You know?
I mean,
it was a brace. But now I will say this.
That was also a bad hit too, man. I mean, he was already down.
Yeah. Now this is the thing. I don't think it was intentional for Max Crosby entirely. I think he just saw the ball go out while he was going down. I think his eyes lit up and he just went after the ball. Because when you look back on it, he was clearly reaching in for the ball and he was just trying to grab it. You know, but that's also on him because he didn't realize that 2 players on his team were already bringing Joe down and already had a sack in place. That's on him. But I don't think he was intentionally trying to hurt Joe. You know what I mean? I just think he needs to be safer
I
with the
don't
way
know,
he
man.
attacks
If
the
you
ball.
look at it, as soon as he hit him, he looked back for the flag. He looked like, oh shit. It was crazy. Like, I don't know, man, but I mean, it's questionable, like you said. I mean, I'm not saying he did it intentionally, but it kind of looked like he did. I mean, the way he looked
Oh yeah.
surprised after he did it, he was like, hey, But hey, there was no flag thrown.
I'll
We
be honest with the way the Raiders have been working this season and been organized with all the drama and everything. I wouldn't be surprised if it was intentional at this point. That team is full of yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, some teams, man. I mean, they got these players, man. They don't care about nobody's career. They don't care about nothing but themselves. So that's what you get. And that's another thing coming up on the Steelers, man. I really pray for Joe. I really do, man. I mean, I do not trust Mike Tomlin. And I'm not going to go out on a limb here of what's on my mind because that's not to be displaced on here. But still, man, I do not trust Mike Tomlin. I do not trust Hightower, especially what he just did to Hubbard. Are you mad? We want to pull you off our quarter.
That was Cameron Hayward.
I mean Haywood. I mean, yeah, Hayward. I mean, you don't expect us to protect our quarterback. You sitting there laying on the guy, get off of him. And then you're gonna fall back down on him like we pushed you back down on him. Like, yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. I tweeted that 100 times. I wanted the NFL to see it. For real, man. It's crazy.
That was ridiculous what Cameron Hayward did to Herbert. I mean, but going back to the Raiders game though, I'm glad Joe Burrow didn't turn the ball over. That's something that's been a big issue these last few games. Just seemed like every game he was in, he just had to throw a pick or two. And that's something it seems like he's worked on. He's limited the turnovers. He hasn't thrown a pick. So, I mean, we'll see how he does against Pittsburgh because that's obviously a much better defense. I'm not saying Las Vegas doesn't have a good defense because they do, but
he keeps looking for the big play.
It'll be an important test to see how far Burrow's come. As far as this Raiders game goes, man, how about the return of the defense, bro? Can you tell us something about that defense? I want to hear your side about that defense.
Sam Hubbard, Trey Henderson. Oh man, these guys is awesome, man. I mean, they're not getting actually the recognition that a lot of these other teams are getting, but these guys is top notch. These guys is top notch. If you're not ready for these guys, your quarterback's gonna get sacked. And I think that we could use a better pass rusher, to throw on that side sometimes for Sam Hubbard. But I love Sam Hubbard in the run game. He's absolutely great. And I can say here in the last few games, he's been trying to get after to put more pressure on the quarterback, but he just don't really apply a lot of pressure to the quarterback. He's like a sidekick, like Henderson's Batman, he's Robin. As far as our secondary, I don't feel like they was tested too much except for that one drive where they went down and scored in like 3 plays. I was very disappointed. Like, how? Out of all this game, you've been good. You've been holding these guys down. You let these guys go down there and score. Boom, 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 score. And then you gotta blame.
I was like, go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
You good. You gotta blame Lou for that too, man. The personnel. He had Wilson on was it Waller?
No, nobody. I think it was that nobody had Waller, and then Logan Wilson was trying to pick up last second. I might be wrong on that though.
And I was thinking, like, man, this is what football's about, finding mismatches. You don't want to be mismatched. Like, I can't explain it, but man, like, I just pray that Lou gets it together, man. Sometimes the personnel they put on there, like you need this first down to keep the game going, to win the game, and you need 2 yards, and you got on the field, you got Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and P. Ryan. Guess where they go? P Ryan. And I'm like, man, look, bro. Like, I don't care if you overusing your stars. That's what they're there for. And they're there to be used in critical moments. Like, please, guys.
Which is something I want to touch on. I want to see the ball thrown at T. Higgins' way more, coming up in this Steelers game. Because I feel like it's got to be coming, right? This T. Higgins breakout game, it's got to be coming eventually, right? Right, Rex?
I mean, when is it? I mean, he had a few good games, but when is that breakout game? I remember back in the day, last year, the Colts game. God, man, he was a class act.
T. Higgins was incredible that game.
Yeah, I'm like, where's that T at? If we can just get that T and get the same production out of Jamar, that'll open things up for Tyler Boyd.
And look, I just want you to know, when T. Higgins gets his breakout game, because I really do feel it's coming. It has to be. When T. Higgins gets this breakout game, NFL teams are going to have to pay attention to T too, man, because they're going to see, oh, shit, now T. Higgins is getting going. They got Jamar Chase. They already have old, reliable Tyler Boyd. I mean, we got to work on all these guys, and then things are just going to have to open up from there, with CJ Uzama and the running backs. I think that's what you're going to really see after T. Higgins has his breakout game. Is you're going to see a lot more checkdowns and screens that open things up and get the ball moving. And then they're going to take shots downfield to these big guys like Higgins, Chase, and then over the middle to Boyd. So to me, this T. Higgins breakout game, I think it's very essential to getting this offense rolling. So I'm really hoping that it's the Steelers game, man. The Steelers game. If it's not the Steelers game, I'm hoping it's the Chargers game. If it's not the Chargers game, hope it's the Niners game. And if so, not, then so on and so on. But it's just got to come eventually, man. I just don't get how Higgins hasn't had this breakout game. I mean, I know he's dealt with some injuries and stuff, but man, I got to see it happen.
Well, I think, and this is just my opinion, I think coming from everything that's been going on, I think it still comes back down to our O-line because the plays they got set up for T. Higgins, my opinion, I think it's more of a give Burrow some time. He's not getting open quick enough. He's not. I think that's what Burrow's waiting on. That's why Burrow holds the ball so much. It looks like he's waiting on this big play sometimes, and then sometimes he gets it out quick enough. Like this game coming, it's gonna have to be boom boom. It's gonna have to be. It's gonna have to be dumps and screens. It's gonna have to be. They're coming for Burrow. I'm guaranteeing you this. They don't want to be swept. They're coming, and that's what scares me, man. And I'm hopefully that they can get T. Higgins here in some of these screen passes and some of these sweeps, like they getting Jamar involved, like they getting Tyler Boyd involved. I would love to see that too, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with T. I don't know, man. And I hope he gets it together, man. I really do.
Yeah, for sure. But it has to happen. It's just simple as that. But as far as this game goes, I mean, I'm really happy that the defense stepped up and they got their swagger back. They got everything going. The defense, man, they're back. Watch out, But I really do like how Jesse Bates played this game as well. It still wasn't exceptional. I'll say that the game wasn't exceptional from Jesse. However, he did look a lot better. He made a huge big-time tackle.
Yes, that was great.
Gave the ball back to the offense. Gave the ball back to the offense with that play, and that was really critical and huge for us. So I'm very happy with the way this defense played. The linebackers, I'll say the linebackers were probably the weakest part of the game, to be honest with you. And that's not saying too much because they played pretty decent as well. But just all around, this defense seem to have found the ground a little bit more this game. A good bounce. It was a great bounce back game to have against the Raiders, who has been dealing with issues lately and stuff, and they're still trying to figure stuff out. So very important for us. I'm glad we got this win. And all we got to do now is we got to handle business against Pittsburgh once again. So I think this is a good time to transition into that game. Man, when was the last time we beat Pittsburgh 3 times in a row, man?
They said it was back in 1990, I think.
It's been damn near 30 years, actually. Yeah, 31 years since we've beat Pittsburgh 3 times in a row. It's long overdue for that. It's long overdue for it too, man. And when was the year we last won a playoff game?
89, 90.
It's about that time. It's about that time. You know, where all the pieces are lining up. You know, it's time to put them together. Go to work. Let's handle Pittsburgh. Let's sweep their asses. Make it 3 in a row. Let's go to the playoffs and get our first playoff win in 30 years, man. This is the time to do it. So let's break down the strategy for this game. I say, Rax. So, Rax, what are you expecting from the Steelers into this game?
I'm expecting the Steelers to come out on some probably the best we ever see them this year. Honestly. Mike Tomlin didn't even sound the way he sounded the first time he played this when in the conference interview. The way he sounded this time, he was ready. Like I guess he's gonna have his squad ready. So I already know, man, they're gonna come out with the scrappiness. They're gonna come out with all of this. You're gonna get some players doing some things you didn't expect them to do. They got their number one receiver back. They didn't have him last time they played us. They got T.J. Watt back. They didn't have him last time they played us. They don't have Ingram. He's gone. Um, but they do got Hayward, dirty player. Uh, Fitzpatrick's coming back off the COVID list. This team is practically healthy. I'm gonna say at least 100 times healthier than the last time they played us. So I'm expecting this hard grind out game, but I think the third and the fourth quarter we break things open. I just hope that we can contain them and keep it in there around the first because I'm telling you, if we call the right plays, it's will work. I know this last time we played them, they didn't get any sacks, but Burrow did get hit a few times that made you wonder, wow, like, but my honest opinion, man, if we can contain TJ Watt and Hayward, um
We contained
we,
Hayward last time, but it's going to be a lot harder with TJ Watt on that other side now.
yeah, because now we can't double team Hayward. You know, we have to actually double team. I'm gonna say now I just want us to establish the run. Please don't become one dimensional. Uh, Burrow might not have to. Burrow might have. It might have to be another Raiders game where we don't rely on Burrow. And I pray that Burrow don't hold on to the ball too long. Sometimes he could throw it away, but he'll take the hit instead. I don't know. It's like sometimes Burrow be welcoming them hits. But what's your thoughts and your first thoughts about this game?
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I definitely think the Steelers should come out the best we've seen them. And to be honest with you, against the Chargers, I know it's the Chargers. Chargers going to charge. They blew some lead and stuff with that, and they got some easy points in. But man, the Steelers' offense just looked way better. Like they looked like themselves against the Chargers last Sunday night. They looked very good. I have to be honest. I'm a little scared because the Steelers' offense was very good against the Chargers. They threw the ball when they wanted. They ran the ball pretty decently and effectively. They got the ball in the end zone. They put up 37 points. 37 points and had the lead at some point. But then the Steelers defense derped out for some reason, gave up an easy touchdown to who was it? Mike Williams?
He was wide
Or
open.
was it somebody? I don't know, but it was somebody wide open and they ran in for the score. And the Chargers went back on top, and it just seemed like Steelers can get anything going after that from their own like goal line. So looking at this game, it's definitely interesting. It's a wild card for sure. I don't know how this game is going to play out exactly. But I will tell you right now, the Steelers are going to come out hard hitting. They're going to try and hit us hard in the mouth. And that's AFC North football, is just hitting each other in the mouth. So
I'm going to tell you like this, not to try to interrupt you.
I understand. Go ahead.
If we get the ball first, it's going to be a bad game, bro. It's going to be a bad game.
I can understand what you mean.
What I'm trying to say is I want the Steelers to get it first so our defense can set the tone for the game. See. If you let their defense set the tone for the game, that's I played football before. You can set the tone right then and there for the whole game. Like,
yep.
And I want our defense to come out there and wreck their offensive line like last time and set the tone. Like, hey, this is just like last time, but we home. Just like last time. And one more thing, and I'm going to let you finish. Please let our first play be an air it out. Please air it out the very first play. Don't come in there and give it to Mixon. Give it to him 2 times after that. I don't care. First play got to be aired out.
I
Because
agree. I agree. I would.
you want that defense coordinator to be like, what the fuck? What? Oh, yeah, let me switch these plays up. Yeah, we're going to have to call this because these guys coming out fired, you know?
Yeah, I 100% see that. You know, I can definitely see us coming out the gate firing because I think, like I said, I think the Steelers want to hit us in the mouth. So setting the tone early and catching them off guard and offsetting them a little bit early, I think that's very important because I think the Steelers want to line up and they want to get physical and they want to press us. They want to press Jamar. They want to test him. They want to test T. Higgins. They want to test Tyler Boyd. They want to test all these guys. You know,
I wouldn't be pressing on Jamar too much though, man. That's like his specialty. He invites
I know,
that.
but you got to look at the Steelers' point of view from this point. If you're a Steelers fan or a Steelers player looking at this game, or a Steelers coach, personnel, defense coordinator, if you're scheming this game up, you're looking at Jamar these last few games. What was his stat line against the Jets? What, 30 yards, 40 yards, touchdown? What was against the Browns? What, 48 yards, no touchdowns, few drops? Yeah. Then you had the Raiders game. He still only had 30 receptions on 30 yards and a touchdown. He's getting touchdowns, sure, but he ain't getting those big plays or those big chunk yards anymore. So you gotta think maybe they're testing Jamar now. Maybe they're pressing him more. Maybe they're lining up on him harder, more physically. Maybe that's what the Steelers want to do. So you got to be ready for that. That's why I say test T. Higgins. I would say air it out over the middle of the T. Higgins early. That's the player you want to target early on in the first play.
Yeah, whoever. So just air it out.
Yeah, so now that we addressed how the Steelers are probably going to come into this game and how we think it's going to happen, let's start talking about what we need to do on the first play. First play, what I'm doing is I'm play actioning it to Joe Mixon because we fed the hell out of him last week. Let's play action, catch him off guard, have T run a up and in route over the middle, and just laser it to him. Laser to T. Higgins. If he doesn't catch it, oh well. But if he does, now you got the tone set for real. Even if he doesn't catch it, you still have the tone set. But like I said, offset these guys, and I think the middle will open up more because they want to push these guys back. You're not going to have as many people rushing in and blitzing. That opens up the middle. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins game, book it. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, my first play, I don't think I'm a play action or nothing because I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna come out in the shotgun, and I'm gonna come out there with Mixon, and I'm gonna come out there with P. Ryan. Them are gonna be my blockers. They're my extra blockers, and I'm airing it out. That's what I'm doing. You know, I'm aggressive this whole game, and I'm saying I'm being aggressive with Mixon too. I'm aggressive this whole game. Second and 1, second and inches. Ain't quarterback sneaking it. Nope. I'm tossing it to Mixon on the sweep. I'm super aggressive this game. Like, yo, bro, we is not y'all little brothers no more. This is a whole different team. If y'all go come out here wild, we gonna come out here wild too.
I want to just interrupt real quick. Let's tone it down on the jet sweeps a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm still scarred from those Alex Erickson days, man. I want to tone it down a little bit on that. But anyway, continue as you were just saying, Rax.
Yeah, man. We're just not their little brothers no more, man. This is a whole different team, and I understand right now they have a regressing quarterback, but he still can be dangerous if you let him at times. And I just think we got to keep him on constant pressure, under pressure. If you keep Big Ben under constant pressure and don't let him get no time, then I don't see how this offense operates. You're going to dump pass it to Harris like you did 20, 30 times last time. It seemed like they threw it to him at least 20 times, but I don't know. They threw it to him so many times. I had people coming to me telling me, man, y'all might have beat the Steelers, but Najee Harris went off. And I'm like, I don't see it. How? But if we slow them down, make them one-dimensional like they're going to try to do us, I just don't see. Put the ball in Ben's hand and let them be one-dimensional throwing it. I'll take that over just, us trying to stop that run and that play action they're going to try to do.
For sure. I agree 100%. I think Ben at his best this season has been when he plays mistake-free football. So you got to force Ben to make mistakes here and there, man, or else it's going to be a long day for this defense, I think. Unless they figured something out and they got the scheming down right and they can just punch Pittsburgh in the mouth, like square in the jaw, like, who knows what's going to happen. So I think with this game, the key to it is pressuring Ben and just covering the middle of the field, even the deep middle of the field. I don't think Ben's going to go to these out routes on the deep out routes on the side to Claypool or anything this game. I think Cheeto's going to have that on lockdown. And I think Bates is going to improve this game as well. I think Bates should have a much better game, and I think we're going to think of him as his former self from last year when we watch him this game.
Well,
But again, the biggest part of this game is going to be our offense and how our offensive line will hold up. Because I think even though we want to talk about the tone setter being passing over the middle of the field, airing it out, the tone setter is really going to be that offensive line, and how are they going to handle these big guys up front to start the game out.
well, yeah, I understand, and I think that they're gonna go after Eli Apple, which I hope they do, because I guess Eli Apple got tired of all the talk last week and was like, you know what? Let me cancel this game out for you guys. Even though he did drop it at the end, I'm like, to me that was like an incomplete pass. He didn't even make 2 steps, so but they left an interception on him. Tell you why they left an interception, because the coach challenged the late hit on Carr. He didn't challenge the interception, so that's where they messed up at on that one. I think that was an incomplete pass, honestly, bro.
Yeah,
Eli Apple interception.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I saw that. That was a phenomenal play by Apple too. He went up there for that. He went up there for that ball. That was incredible. So I've liked Eli Apple as our cornerback too this season. I think he's been playing very decent. He gives up like one bad drive like per game, but after that he's pretty much locked down. You know, so he's been pretty good for us. I'm not an Eli Apple complainer, but
I just don't like his chances against Claypool, man.
I can understand what you mean, but I don't think he's going to be on Claypool. I think he's going to be more on. Well, I guess he could be, because I mean,
Woozy is going to have to take Johnson.
Yeah, because I don't know. That's a weird spot right now, because I mean, you could put it either way, any way for that. Because like
their number one target is Johnson. If he's there,
I don't know. I don't know, because when I see Claypool out there, man, it sometimes it seems like Claypool's the number one target. It seems like they switch on and off. I don't know what to say. But that's my look on it. They switch off on and off.
Put it like this: Johnson is like his blanket. Like if things ain't going right, that's like his Mr. Reliable to him to Ben. Claypool is his deep threat. But both of these receivers are dangerous if you let them get wild. I'm telling you, both of these receivers is dangerous. Our secondary got their hands full this time. It won't be as easy as the second time, but I still do got us winning by 11. And I'll tell you my score, but
we'll say that for a little bit later.
Yeah. We'll say that for a little bit later. But I honestly feel like our secondary, besides Jesse Bates, ain't really been playing like they've been playing like they have in the first 5 weeks, man. I mean, I don't understand what's going on. Like, how do you just drop? Dramatic.
I think I know what's been going on. I want to try and find some stats real quick. You want to tell everybody about the merch while I find these stats real quick.
Yeah, we definitely got some merch coming. We got some really nice merch coming. Some short sleeve, long sleeve shirts, some hoodies, some hats, and we're actually working on the merch, the inventory right now. Before we actually put the website up, we got to have all that together in case, who knows, it might go wild. Y'all might love this merchandise that we're coming out with. And make sure y'all keep an eye on it. Hopefully, if everything go right with this mailing system, we'll have on some of the merch. Me and Vince will have on some of the merch our next show, Friday. But yeah, guys, while he look up that, make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share, and comment, and tell us what we're doing wrong and what y'all want to hear. What y'all want to talk about and what we're doing right. Yeah, just let us know how we're doing. We appreciate everybody that's watching. But I really do think that it's over for Big Ben. I really think that we put a hurting on him. I think BJ Hill? A couple people had sacks last time. Sam Hubbard had a sack. Wilson had 2 interceptions. Man, that was big for us. It was really big for us.
So now that we got that out of the way, I want to go over the snap count real quick. I want you to tell me, do you remember how many snap counts there were against the Vikings week 1 with Ricardo Allen in there when they ran 3 safety sets?
No, I can't remember that. Fill me in.
I'll tell you right now. I don't know either right now. I didn't look up that part, but I can definitely tell you, I definitely think they got over 25 snaps, I'd say. 25,
Okay.
30 snaps, maybe. They played a lot of 3 safety set against the Vikings, and it worked phenomenally. I will tell you right now. Ricardo Allen looked amazing when he played a lot of snaps there. I want you to guess for me real quick how many snaps he played against the Raiders. How many times the Bengals ran 3 safety sets against the Raiders? I just want you to guess.
3 times.
No, not that low. That's a little much. But
Because I ain't seen it a lot. I mean, I pay attention a lot. I'm like, I haven't seen it a lot. Like, I ain't even seen Ricardo Allen on the field except for that one game where I think Bates was hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, they only ran 3 safety sets, 14 snaps. Only 14 snaps of 3 safety sets. That's it. That's it. I will tell you right now, when Ricardo Allen is on the field, this Bengals defense is much better than what it has seemed to be. Way better.
So why did they stop running it?
I don't know. I can't tell you that right now. But all I can tell you right now, get Ricardo Allen on the field versus the Steelers. Get him on the field. That's all we ask for is get him on the field.
Now, Vince, do you think we could do I know TJ Watt's coming back, but do you think we could do a lot of the same similar things that we did last time we played them?
Oh, of course, 100% we can. Why not?
I mean, this team's coming out scrappy, man. It's not the same team.
Oh, of course they're coming out scrappy, but that doesn't mean that Jamar was getting tons of separation on these guys. Let's be honest real quick. Jamar was getting a lot of separation against these Steelers cornerbacks and everything. He was. Flat out was. He was dominating. He was dominating. And I will tell you right now, Tyler Boyd feasted that game. You know how Tyler Boyd is. He's always going to show out against Pittsburgh. Always.
Yeah, and then Joe Hayden is questionable. That's one of their top, CBs. So
yep. And hey, what's their corner depth past those starting 3? You
said what's the depth like?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's not that good. It really isn't that good. So you're going to be testing the young guys and James Pierre and Cortland Sutton, and also somebody who isn't that good on depth as the cornerback 4. So I mean, we have the pieces in place. It's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a tight game, but the outcome should be the same. It really should be. The outcome should be much the same. We should be able to beat these guys on the outside. We should be able to punch them inside with Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins and Joe Mixon, of course. Joe Mixon, I'm expecting to get around yards this game. So, I mean, to me, it's all about Joe Burrow being mistake-free. Joe Burrow has to be mistake-free. He has to have no interception this game. No interceptions, because I feel like even one interception can turn the entire tide of this game. I really do. So,
well, I don't know, man. He had an interception last time we played him, right?
Well, yeah, but that was the early start out and stuff. And the Steelers just weren't as good then. They were completely unhealthy.
Yeah, they definitely was. Missing some key players.
The Steelers team is much better and much improved now. Even though they tied with the Lions. But, All
right, so, Vince, give me your 2 standout players. I need one for defense and I need one for offense.
Ooh, standout players. Now, standout player on offense, I have to roll with Tyler Boyd, man. You know how it is. Tyler Boyd always shows out against Pittsburgh. I'm expecting him to show out some more today in this game. Not today, Sunday. As far as the defensive side of the ball goes, the biggest standout player for me right now on defense against the Steelers, it's going to be DJ Reader. Because they love to feed Najee Harris way more than he deserves, way more than he should be getting fed.
Yeah.
So I think a good way to set the tone on defense for this game, just stuffing them. You got to stuff them. You got to stuff them. You got to hold them at the line of scrimmage. And to me, that's the most important part of this game, making sure Najee Harris does not get going. Because if Najee Harris doesn't get going and they got that safety blanket out the window, it's going to be a lot harder for Ben to find these open routes and stuff. So I'm expecting a lot of attention to Najee Harris, but I'm also expecting to play zone more. That's something I heard at halftime too. Hold on, excuse me. Sorry, my throat's getting itchy. Talking too much. But I heard at halftime while watching the Cowboys game, something that the old Steelers coach, he brought up something very interesting and could definitely work for a lot of teams. You say if you see the refs calling a lot of physical plays and stuff, because I think we like to get physical a lot on the defensive backs, right? We're a physical team as far as our secondary goes. If the refs are calling a lot of stuff early on, just run some zone schemes. Just see what we can get away with, how these refs are going in and stuff. Because I think that's something that's big against the Steelers that can work too, is zone schemes. Zone schemes, I think, are we know Lou loves to run zone. We know he does. I think this is one of those times where he needs to run zone. That's just all I'm going to leave it at.
Well, yeah, I definitely think that the zone scheme will work. It really depends on what kind of pressure you're getting on Ben. But my two key players, I'm gonna have to go with Sam Hubbard. Hubba. You know, the only reason I'm gonna go with Sam Hubbard in this game is because I feel like he just know the Steelers. That if you go back and look at the last time we played him, he was a big important part in the pressure on Big Ben. Even though I did say he don't get a lot of pressure on quarterbacks like I want him to.
He's actually been doing very phenomenal this season. This
Like
is
I said,
probably
the last few games he picked it up.
this is arguably his best year as a pass rusher.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, this is his best year. You know, so I mean that's why I ain't really been complaining. I see why they paid him. He is a good defensive end. But
I was again. I want to say one thing. I was so wrong about this season. Oh my God, I was against paying Hubbard this offseason. I would say pay him next offseason because he hasn't shown me enough in those pass rushing games. Because I mean, I know he provides a great run stuffing ability. He's a great run blocker, but I was saying he hasn't had one of those big seasons where he gets like 8-9 sacks like back to back or something. You know, let's let him go out and show his pass rushing abilities first before we pay him. You know, because he is an edge guy. If he's not going to play good, you put him in an outside linebacker role if he isn't going to get to the quarterback as well on this edge. He's been phenomenal on the edge this season, man. He's been a great Robin to Hendrickson as back, and he's shutting me up right now. He's made every penny of that contract he's got worth it. Every contract and every penny on that contract has been completely worth it for Hubbard.
Bro, what happened to Logan Wilson?
No comment.
Like he just completely disappeared off the map. Like, come on, bro.
Like
you had these great games. You had this game, the 2 interception game. You had the Bears game. You got the Ravens game. And then where you at the rest of the season? Where you at? Like Logan Wilson, if we ever needed you, we need you Sunday. We need those 2 interceptions Sunday like you gave us last time. You know, don't play that soft zone coverage because they're gonna throw it short. That's your area. That's why you succeeded last time, guy. I'm hoping you looking at this right now. That's your area, man. Go out there and do your thing, man. But I'm gonna keep it moving though, Vince, real quick. My offensive player, I'm gonna definitely have to go with Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon has a really nice day out in the flats. I think he lives out there. I think he makes a living out in the flats this game. We're going to really need it. I mean, these dump off passes is going to have to be. And please do not give none a sample. Please don't give none a sample. It just seems like he trips over himself every time. And I know you're going to blame it on the Raiders field. But this guy been tripping. He's been tripping over himself. I just don't get it, man. You got so many other superstars to throw to screen the ball to than Drew Sample, guys. But I'm not an NFL coach, so but please throw it to someone else. And then I know they're gonna make me bite my words. Drew Sample gonna score a touchdown, right? Watch and see.
I will say that's something I also want to touch on too for this offensive line in this game. I think I want to see. This is a game where I actually want to see more Drew Sample. I want to see some Drew Sample plays in there, and I don't want him going running routes or anything. You know, I mean, like maybe 1 or 2, because we know how he is as a passing tight end. No, that ain't his department. His department is blocking. And when you see how Reef did against Crosby last week,
oof.
I want Sample lined up with Reef I want Sample lined up with Reef. I think he could really help handle TJ Watt. If anything,
Yeah.
I could give Adenji or whoever's starting Carmen Adenji some more attention to the interior of the line and helping Hopkins out and getting that interior of the line secured. That's how I'm looking at that right now. So for me, put Sample out there a lot of the time, maybe like 70% of the snaps or so, maybe 65% of the snaps. I would like Sample placed next to Reef to help TJ Watt and solve that problem. And I think we can see a lot of success there.
Yeah, most definitely. And I understand that. I definitely agree with that. I like the game plan that they came out when we played the Ravens. Like it was just like protect Joe at the ultimate cost. Where's that at? I don't know, man. I just worried about this offensive line and going against them, man. I really am worried. I really, really am worried. But those are my two successful players.
How about we let's roll over our players real quick. So I picked Tyler Boyd and I picked who was it? It was
DJ Reader.
DJ Reader. So I'm picking Boyd and Reader for this game. Boy Rax over here, he's picking Mixon and Hubba. He's picking Hubbard and Mixon. So those are all big offensive guys and defensive guys for this game. The X factor, though, I say let's not pick an X factor for both sides of the ball. Let's just pick one X factor. Who's the biggest component? Who's the biggest component to this game? Who's going to be the biggest game changer? Who's going to make all the difference in this game? Who's going to be that one who opens up the game for us?
CJ Uzomah. Yeah, man, CJ Uzomah, man. I think like I said, man, it all works in the game plan of these small dump off passes, and there it is. I mean, and they're not going to be worried about him. They're not going to be worried about him. They're going to be looking at all these other guys and trying to stop Mixon and Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, because Tyler Boyd always has a good game, like you said. So I'm looking for them. You're muted. Oh, you're good, but that's what I think. I think CJ Uzomah. Who you got?
For me, I'm gonna have to go out and say I'm gonna say surprising one. I think we're gonna see a unsung hero this game. I think we're gonna see somebody step up that we didn't expect to step up. I think somebody's gonna make a huge play. I think somebody's gonna rip this ball out or take this ball away from Big Ben. I think maybe even a sack. I think the person who's gonna have a huge day for us is gonna be on the defensive side of the ball. And this man's name is Marcus Bailey. Marcus Bailey's coming in for ADG. And let's be honest here for a second. Marcus Bailey was expected to be a second-round pick or third-round pick coming into his draft class last year. Not this year's draft class, last year's draft class. But due to injuries and unfortunate circumstances, he fell all the way to the 7th round, where luckily we picked him up along with ADG and Logan Wilson in that same draft class. Now, I've been high on Marcus Bailey. I've always wanted to see him get his snaps and his share. I've been very high on Marcus Bailey, and I've been excited to see him get these snaps. Today's the day where he's going to show out. Today's the day where Sunday's going to be the day where he shows out, and Sunday's going to be the day where Marcus Bailey's going to shock us all. We're going to be making statues. We're going to be making all kinds of stuff for Marcus Bailey. I think Marcus Bailey's going to make a huge impact this game. That's my bold X factor for this game.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I really hope so. I'm not going to disagree with you, because I really want it to happen. I just Marcus. I don't know, man. I mean, because he didn't really get that many snap counts last week.
I know, but I'm just saying. But like I said, even if he gets a limited snap,
if he does do what you say, it's going to be in the red zone.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm just saying. Look back at the Washington preseason game. He made some huge plays, and then won one drive, I believe. No, I think it was a couple of drives. He swatted a ball down, made a huge play, and he almost got an interception too. He almost got an interception. I saw it all live. I was like, oh my gosh, Marcus Bailey's like so close to making this whole game like wide open. So I'm a Marcus Bailey believer. I think he's going to come up huge for us, and I think he's going to make a play. I really do.
I really hope you're right, man. I really, really hope you're right. So we got our key players. What you thinking on a prediction, man? I you do yours first.
Well, for my prediction, like I said, I think it's gonna be more high score. I think we're gonna get a higher score this time around. I think it's gonna be a lot closer. I think it's gonna be a lot more competitive, a lot more punching in the mouth. You might even see a little bit of fight breakout. Who knows?
I'm looking forward to it.
Free pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
But to me, when I'm looking at this game, I just see the Bengals being ready to step up. Like I said, it's been 30 years since we beat the Steelers 3 times in a row, long overdue. 1990, the same time we won the playoffs. If we beat the Steelers 3 times in a row, it looks like we're on our way to the playoffs, man. I think this is a must-win for us. I think this is going to really decide the tone for the rest of the season. I think we can come out, punch them in the mouth. I think we're going to be ready, man. This is our time to shine. This is our time to make our push to the playoffs. If we win this, we're 7-4. And man, think about this: if the Browns beat the Ravens, we're back in first place in the AFC North. We're right back at AFC. We're back in first place. Now that's a bit of a game.
The Browns is going to beat the Ravens, man.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm hoping.
All you got to do is run Chubb. Just run Chubb.
Calm down. That gambling side of me, because let's be real. The Browns beating the Ravens, if we want the Browns to beat the Ravens, that's a big risk we're taking, because we play LA after the Browns. We play LA after this week.
I get what you're
saying. If we lose to LA and the Browns have a win, they got the tiebreaker over us.
No. See, Vince. This is how it plays out. The Browns beat the Ravens. Then they go on their bye. Then they come back to the Ravens again, where the Ravens will then beat the Browns. So they will go 1-1. Now, as far as us playing the Chargers, I don't know, man. I ain't gonna say anything about that game until I see how we play against the Steelers, because lately this year we've been inconsistent. We've been up and down. We look good one time, we look mediocre one time, we look real bad one time, and then we look like we world beaters one time. So, this year's been up and down, and I can honestly say that about a lot of teams in the AFC. I mean, a lot of teams. I mean, there's not really one dominant team. I mean, everybody's getting their butt handed to them here and there. Just look what happened to the Cowboys. They got beat by the Raiders. Guess who beat the Raiders? We did. Guess who beat the Ravens? We did. Guess who beat us? The Jets. So, I mean, I'm not going to keep going on. I'm just giving you an example. This year is just like, Tom Brady just lost 2 straight before he won.
It's completely bonkers the way this season's gone. I'm shocked. And, I will say after that Browns game, I was really about to lose all faith in this team. But then thank the football gods and everything, because the following week after that, I saw the Ravens lose to the Dolphins. I saw the Steelers tie with the Lions. I saw the Browns get blown out by the Patriots, absolutely obliterated after they obliterated us. I saw the Bills lose to the Jaguars. I saw the Cowboys get obliterated by the Broncos. I saw all these good teams getting blown out by bad teams. Man, and that just reassured me so much, and that just restored so much faith and so much to look forward. It gave me so much more to look forward to this season with the Bengals. And then what do you know? It pays off with the Raiders. We come in, we get a big win, bounce back. So I'm riding on that faith. I'm going to say the prediction is going to be 31-24. Bengals going to take this one home.
Okay, I like that. I really like that. And before I give you my prediction, I just want to quote. I want to just add something to what we was just talking about before you gave your prediction. As far as the Chargers, real quick. If all goes our way and we're healthy going into this Charger game, and I'm gonna leave it at this: how do they stop Mixon? How? They're like 23rd in run defense. How? But that's a whole nother discussion.
I will say this to finish off your Chargers explanation. Chargers got like bottom 5 run defense in the league. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's what I'm saying. How are they going to stop Mixon?
Yeah, so Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let's just see how this Steelers game plays out. Anyway,
Yeah.
Rax, take away your prediction, man.
All right. So my prediction is I feel like uh this first and second quarter gonna be a grinder. Towards the middle of the third quarter is where we break it open. Um, I think we do a lot of wearing their defenses down because I don't really think Big Ben gets it going because we're constantly putting pressure on him through our defensive four without doing too much blitzing. And then we forget about Mike Hilton. I think he actually gets a sack in there on Ben, which he tried to get last time, but Ben played him on a snap count because Ben knew him. Um, but I think he gets him this time. And I think it's in for a crazy wow in the first two quarters. It gives us everything that we're looking for, and I think that the Bengals finally take over at the end. So I'm looking at a 28-17 Bengals. And I'm gonna say Burrow throws 3 touchdowns. Mixon has a touchdown. I'm gonna say Najee Harris runs for a touchdown. Big Ben throws one, and they get a field goal. And
All
that's my
right,
prediction of the game, buddy.
let's just throw it in. Who are those 3 touchdowns from Burrow to?
Those 3 touchdowns, the Burrow two will go to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Ooh, you
Uh,
think 2 for Lamar?
yeah, 2 for Jamar. I'm gonna say a closer one in the um red zone, and I'm gonna say a deep pass. I think we burn them again because we catch them off guard.
Hey, Jamar did have 2 touchdowns against Steelers last time we played.
Yeah, so I think he has another 2. I think he busts it open for about 97, 98 yards this game. Um, I think T Higgins he don't get a touchdown, but I think he has over 60 something yards. And like you said, Tyler Boyd, I think he's going to be up in there 70, 80 yards. Uh, like I said, now watching this game, Vince, in the beginning, you're going to be like, I don't see what Rack's talking about. Don't forget what I said. Now, just similar, I'm not going to say it's going to happen with turnovers like we did with the Raiders, but similar, this game is going to be close. You can easily, in the third quarter, go and make you some food and come back, and you'd be like, what the fuck? How did the Bengals get up like this? Watch, because it's the pound and the wear and tear. They showed me they can do it. These last few games, we've been having these possessions so long. So I'm like, man, this is winning football in November. You got to pound the ball. You got to wear these teams out. You know, it's gonna be some Vincent. It's gonna be some 3 and outs we're not gonna like. It's gonna be some calls we're not gonna like. We're gonna stick in there and we're gonna tear this team up, brother. We're gonna win.
I'm with you 100%, Rax. I will say I agree with the Jamar getting 2 touchdowns in the game again. I can see him getting 1, but I think T. Higgins is going to get 2. I think T. Higgins is going to get his own. But I will say with that, I would definitely look forward to this game. It's going to be a hell of a game. You know, it's going to be huge implications. It's going to be crazy. I should have. You know what? I might ask my family about going to Buffalo Wild Wings for this one. I really might. This is a huge game. I might have to go. I might have to do a special occasion for it. So who knows? We'll see how it goes. But anyway, let's wrap this podcast up. Great episode. Rax, tell them where to find you.
Y'all can find me everywhere. Y'all can find me on Facebook at the Jungle Fever Podcast. Find us on Twitter at Rax Cincy. That's Rax with 2 X's, RAXX. I can also find us on YouTube here. And I'm gonna put Vincent's description in the Vincent's YouTube and Twitter in the description. But Vincent, tell them where they can find you at real quick, buddy.
You can find me on Twitter as well at QSmartReviewer. I changed my name from Frank Pollock Enthusiast to Hubbard Enthusiast. I've gone on strike until Jackson Carmen's put back into the game. So that's a little layout change and everything. Nothing too major. Just a little protest of mine.
I think Adeniji might change your mind this game.
If he changes my mind, I'll go back to it. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay, look, Vince. If he changes your mind, you got to change it to the Hakeem Adeniji. Yeah.
No. The deal was to change it back to the Frank Pollock ordeal. That was the deal.
I know I was messing with you.
No, that's basically me saying, all right, Pollock, you were right. I apologize. But yeah, you find me there at QSmart Review. Also, make sure you follow my backup, the bio. In my bio on my main account, it's also there. If you need the @ Khaled Kago _
I'll put that in the description too.
Cal Cream fan account or whatever. I love Cal Cream. I want him to get his. I want him to get this sack this season. He's going to get a sack against Steelers. I'm 100% confident in that. But make sure you follow that backup account because I got suspended for 2 days for some stupid comment. It wasn't even that bad. It was just some minor fun, but they took it as threatening and harassment. But
you won your appeal though, right?
I won the appeal. Thank God. I won the appeal after 2 days. That's something that's really rare to happen because a lot of these accounts, they don't win their appeal after some like harassment, threatening kind of ordeal reasons and shit. So that's something that I won, but main account's back, but follow the backup, please, just in case something happens to that main account again. And also again, sub to my YouTube channel. I released a hype video for Bounce Back Week against the Raiders. And then, of course, afterwards, I uploaded my instant reaction to the Raiders game. And I'll have an instant reaction now against the Steelers like I always do. What time is the game again, Rax? Is it 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock.
Like always. We're always playing 1 o'clock games. But I'm going to upload some instant reaction there. Make sure you tune in for that. And this is basically where you can find me. For this podcast, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below some topics.
New merch coming soon. New merch.
Exactly. And merch, man. We've been working hard, merch. I've been getting these designs in for Rax to put out. I think you're going to really love some of these designs, man. We've been working very hard. Rax, can you give an estimate on when the site?
Actually, I talked to the guy today about the hoodies. He's already been working on the shirts. I haven't actually received the shirt, so I will just show you guys. Hopefully, I told him. He told me he'll have them by Monday. So, mail system works about 3 days. So you should have yours. If I get it Monday or Thursday. So hopefully, guys, we'll see the merch by this weekend, next weekend coming. And hopefully we'll have the website up here this week, and I'm gonna have the website, but I might not make it accessible yet till we fill it up. I don't want it to be empty. I gotta get these links in there where you can go to Bengals.com, to where you can go to our link to our merchandise, to where you can go to Vincent's page. You can go to my page. You can go to the Bengals, the Jungle Fever Facebook page. It's a lot. And I'm getting it together. I am new to this, so my wife is helping me with that. So yeah, but things is coming and it's actually in the progress. So I am not being lazy. It's actually in the works.
Yeah, we are working very hard on this. We're gonna get this website out. Rax, you want to maybe flash the design or two just to give a little preview of some of the merch coming up Wednesday when we do this film study?
Yeah, I can. Hold on. Actually, you can get an exclusive look at the new designs. Well, see, the thing about it, hold on, Vince. That's another thing too. Let's actually get the merch first because you don't want anybody to copy and take it and run it.
That's fair.
So once we get the merch and actually get seen on camera with it and get seen, and we can get it on our website, marked as ours and legally ours, because we can legally come up with these designs. It's nothing we're doing wrong. It's copyrighted, but we want to make it ours. So when these designs are fire, and we got more coming. When y'all see it, it's gonna be easy for someone to be like, ooh, So yeah.
I'm coming up with great designs I haven't seen anywhere else, and so is Rax. And we're gonna come up with some great designs. We're gonna get this going together. And you guys are going to want to get these shirts and hoodies as soon as possible. These are fire designs. These are amazing. Yeah. I think this is nothing like you've seen before. Y'all going to really like them. I'm excited to drop these with Rax. Rax is especially excited because he came up with this whole thing and he's ready to push it out.
Hopefully, guys, if everything goes right and these shirts hit my hands Monday, Vince will have his on the next time y'all see us. And I'll have mine on. And I'll be showing y'all other designs that we got and showing y'all what we can do and what's coming up. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that. And we appreciate you guys. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Vince?
Just have a blessed day. Be safe. I hope everybody had a safe and happy Thanksgiving. I know I did. I hope you did as well, Max.
Oh, man, I ate so much, man. I ate a lot.
The food was amazing this Thanksgiving, man. I got to say, Thanksgiving really outdid itself this week.
Yeah, man. You got to thank the parents for that, man, all that cooking. Because I was like, Mama, this is delicious.
Yeah, man. So I'm extremely thankful, and I will tell you right now, I'm extremely thankful that the Bengals beat the Raiders last week. I'm thankful we bounced back, and I'll be thankful once we beat the Steelers this week. Rax, let's cue the outro, man.
All right, man. I see you guys, man. We out.
Nacho.
It's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, yeah, baby.
Put them one in the clutch.